Okay, great. So, hi everyone. Good evening.
Good evening.
Great. So, before we begin, you guys all know me, but you guys don't know each other. So, I'd like you guys to get to know each other. So, let's just give you guys maybe 20 seconds to introduce yourself. Okay, start with you, Aaron.
Me first. Okay. I'm Aaron, and I like to play basketball, and like to travel and drink cocktail. And recently, I want to learn the skateboarding. Yeah.
Skateboarding, awesome. Okay, you like to drink cocktails or make cocktails?
I want to learn how to make the cocktail.
Oh, okay, so become like a bartender.
Maybe if
Awesome, great. Okay, Iris. Next is Iris.
Hi, I'm Iris. First, I would like to introduce my job and career.
Okay.
In the past, I had been in the financial industry for 1 year. I was a marketing specialist, primarily working in organizing events for end user and making marketing strategy better. And I enjoyed brainstorming with my colleagues and come up with something new. Yes, and currently I work as a president secretary for a biotech company.
Okay.
I am a coordinator in between departments and responsible for managing human resource. Actually, this job is very interesting because our company, because selling pigs is a main part of my company's business. So therefore, I need to go the pig farm to understand production process, so I can see actual cute piglets.
Okay, that's great.
Additionally, the most interesting part of my HR work is interview different people from various backgrounds. There is always something new to learn in every interview.
Great. Okay, that's awesome, Iris. Okay, so just some words that I think everyone will use, but they will often get mixed up. So we have industry, not industry. Industry.
Industry.
Right.
Okay.
And we say, a lot of people will say colleges. These are actually your colleagues.
Colleagues.
Yes. So the people you work with, your co-workers, are called your colleagues.
Colleagues.
Yes. A lot of people get that wrong. No problem. So currently is now. Currently. Yeah, you can say, I'm currently working at XXX company. I'm currently learning how to make cocktails, things like that. Okay, currently, what I'm doing now. Great. And interesting, not interesting, interesting.
Interesting.
Good job. Okay, great. And Eugene, your turn.
Okay. Hi, I'm Eugene, and this is my Chinese name because I don't use English name. And I am now in Japan. I studied set design in here. and I will move back to Taiwan next month. And my favorite thing is milk tea. I
Your milk tea.
almost drink milk tea every day. So if you guys have any recommendation of tea, please tell me. Thank you.
Great. Okay. So one more thing. When we talk about, oh, I'm going there, right? We don't say going in there, or you will say, I live in Japan. I live there, right? So we don't put in and there. If you want to use in, you will use in and then the specific place. If you want to use there, it means over there. Okay? Great. Okay, good job, guys. So today we're going to talk about social speaking. And I'm just going to talk very shortly and briefly about what we're going to do today and then leave the time for you guys to practice. Okay? So what is the key to making a good introduction? What do you think? Aaron, what do you think? When someone is, you heard of the other two people introducing themselves. What do you think?
Patient.
You need to be patient.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about the person? How will a person attract you? What do you think?
Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting person will attract me.
Okay, it could be
maybe,
interesting.
interesting. Or maybe not interesting, but the person's interest or favorite things is similar with me.
Right. Okay. So you have something in common, right? Okay. What about you, Eugene? What do you think? What is the key to making a good introduction? You'll be interested in the person. Is it what they're saying, or is it the way they are saying something? If I talk like this in class, will you feel interested?
People
if I talk like this.
People who is confident.
Confident. Okay, people who are confident. Okay.
Yeah.
What about Iris? What do you think? Humorous
person.
Okay. Humorous person. So he needs to be funny. Okay.
Yeah.
So something I think is key here is you need to be enthusiastic about it. What is enthusiastic? Does anyone know? Yuqing, what is enthusiastic?
No, you love it.
Okay, you love it. So something you love, something you're passionate about. So that is what I want you guys to think about. That was your homework, right? Think about things you love. Think about things that matter. Think about things that you care about, okay? This is very important because you are going to make people feel that you love what you're doing. And if you love what you're doing, you don't need to fake it, right? It's something that just comes out from you. Like if I start talking about surfing, I wouldn't stop. And you will feel that I really love this. I really love to surf, or I love to learn more new things about anything that has to do with surfing. So something that will spread is positivity, okay? This is something that people will feel from you. So very, very positive energy. So positive emotion creates positive connections because that's what you want to do. When you introduce yourself, it doesn't matter if it's for an interview for work, it's an interview for a social event. What you want to do is for people to feel interested in you. Okay? So even when we're talking about work, it could be not as interesting, but you can make it sound very interesting when you are passionate about what you do, right? Like when Iris is saying like, oh, I get to learn new things when I have an interview. Every interview is different because you get to meet new people, right? So I can feel that you love your job, and it's really good. So you come alive when you're talking. People around you will be affected by you. So networking events are about this. So do you guys have any chance of going to a networking event? Aaron, do you attend any type of events?
What event?
Yeah, events like networking. It could be like with a lot of people. Maybe these people you don't know. So they're not like your friends gathering. They're people you don't know, but maybe you have something in common. Maybe you want to learn how to make cocktails, right? You go take a cocktail class. It's a sort of gathering.
So I need to take some example about the networking events.
Yeah,
right?
do you have any? I'm asking, do you have any?
Yeah. Recently, I usually work from home.
Oh, right. Everyone is like social distancing, physical distancing. Okay, so
I become
what?
agent of my company.
Okay. So, is there other from the past? Maybe we can talk about a longer time ago.
Actually, I usually want how to say work outdoor with my friends.
Okay, so you work out, or
Yeah.
you exercise together outdoors.
Yeah, outdoors.
Okay, so what do you do?
Not only exercise. If I exercise, I play basketball, but it's not very special. And
Okay.
but 3 weeks ago, I went to play kickboxing with my friends
Oh, okay.
every
So you went
week.
kickboxing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
kickboxing, but it's like a class, right?
Yeah, it's a class.
Okay. So in this class, okay. So this is a very good example. So I'm just gonna skip to the introduce yourself. So say kickboxing is something that you feel that is something you really enjoy doing. So what do you think the kickboxing class? Everyone maybe don't know. What does everyone have in common? What do you think?
You mean everyone the common?
Yes. What does everyone have in common in the class? So maybe the teacher or the coach will say, hey, okay, I want everyone to get to know each other. So please give a brief introduction. What would you say to attract the people, or for people to be like, oh, Aaron has something in common with me. So maybe I should go talk to him and be his friend.
In the class, I can say skateboarding.
Okay. Do you think everyone who goes to kickboxing will like skateboarding?
Because in the kickboxing class, when the class started, and everyone start to kick and boxing, but not talk a lot.
Right, like
Yeah.
they don't talk a lot. So I mean, like, if you need to introduce yourself, I'm asking you, what do you think that you can talk about that people will be interested in?
One of my friends invite me to play skateboarding. So I joined the skateboarding exercise outdoors 1 month ago, and he also invites some other friends with me. So we have a timing to introduce ourselves.
Okay.
So at the moment I introduce myself, it's less oh hi, I'm Aaron, and maybe I work in some company, and what the job I do, because for example I say I am a data scientist and for the data research for my company, a social media company. Yeah.
Okay, so this is what you would say, right? Okay, so if it was me and I was skateboarding with my friends, and I meet people skateboarding, what I would do is, hey, I just started skateboarding maybe like 1 month ago. Why did I start skateboarding? Because I think it has something to do with help me to surf because of having better balance. So now I'm going to talk about past, so why I started to skateboard, and then I'm going to talk about present, like, hey, so I'm thinking about maybe I want to skateboard maybe once a week so I can keep on improving. So what I want to do in the future, maybe I want to learn how to ollie, maybe I want to do something, right? So then if you are skateboarding, you're going to talk about how this is going to be relevant, or how you're going to connect with the friends, the new friends that you're making, because obviously they like skateboarding. So that is something you can talk about. If you want to introduce yourself when you were in the kickboxing class, right? Everyone would probably, what everyone would have in common is probably exercising. Maybe not everyone can kickbox very well, but they definitely love to exercise. So you can talk about past, present, future, something to do or related to exercising. So that is how you can start your conversation and talk about the future, and then maybe have a question for everyone, right? Like, hey, so can you ollie? Can you show me how to do that? Or do you guys come here every week? Maybe we can hang out together and skateboard every week, right? So that will help the conversation from going and not just stop here. Because what you want to do when you do an introduction is for the people to be interested in you. But how can you do that, right? First, you have to think, where am I? If you are doing, like Iris was doing an interview about her job. If I'm going to be talking about my job, I need to think about who I'm talking to. It could be a social event with other human resource people. Then everyone will be interested in what you do. Okay, so Eugene was giving more of a general introduction about what she loves, hoping to get people to, also people who love milk tea can give her some recommendations. So she said, oh, if you guys know any good milk tea places, please let me know. So when Aaron is like, I know a milk tea place because I also drink milk tea, right? So this is something you guys can talk about. So this is just for you to think about if you are in a different situation. You're not always going to be doing an introduction for work, okay? So this is a very good guideline for you. Okay, so do you understand?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to talk about different types of situations. So for Eugene, so what do you think? What type of networking social event do you think you will maybe face? Maybe when you come back to Taiwan, right? What type of social events would you be interested in? Like maybe listening to some speech, going to some networking event. What do you think?
Actually, I'm not the
Very
person
sociable.
who likes to
Okay,
like.
then I'll give you a situation. Okay, so say
Okay.
this place, maybe for school. Okay, maybe
Yes.
this place in Taiwan, you come back and there's a meeting with a lot of the people who graduated from your school in Japan. Okay, so when you stand up, everyone's going to do a very brief introduction, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. What are you going to be saying? So if we're going to use the past, present, and future, and try to use one of these things, it could be something you love, something you want, something that matters. What do you think that you can talk about?
We can talk about what we did at school.
Good. Okay, so let's give a brief introduction. So try to incorporate the past, present, and future.
I Because in my school there are many different majors. So first I will say I was in the television design major at the school. And now I'm back to Taiwan. I would like to find a job that is that close what I studied before.
Okay.
So because everyone graduated from same school, maybe they have some experience of finding the job about entertainment.
Right.
Then we can also discuss about it.
Great. Okay, so I think an example of how you could make your introduction can be something like, "Hi everyone, I'm Eugene, and I just graduated from the television, the television design major."
Yes.
Okay, and currently I just graduated and came back to Taiwan. I'm hoping to find a job in that has something to do, or that is related to this to my major. So I would really appreciate it if you could share about how you found your job, or what was the process of you finding a new job, or do you know any channels of places I can send my resume or find more job opportunities so that I can find a job faster in Taiwan. Something like that, right?
Yes.
Right. So do you see that this is like a really good way to introduce yourself and also to get people to answer your questions? Because there will be a lot of alumni who graduated from your school with a job, and maybe they're very eager to help you because you're from the same school. Okay, great. What about Iris? If you have to be networking at a place where there's a lot of human resource, maybe managers, they have a lot of experience, but they're there to network with people. What or how can you make your introduction?
I think my situation, social situation, is is sport event or something. It's
Okay.
not.
Okay, it's going to be a sporting event.
Yes.
Okay, great. So can you do an introduction at a sporting event?
When I started learn dancing when I 6 years old. So then I love to dance in my leisure time, dancing and yoga. So during weekends, I often take dance lessons and practice with my friend or teammate. That's all.
Okay. So first we have what you do. So that is what you do now, right? What about the future? Like, what do you plan to do with dance? Do you want to make it as like a profession, or do you just want to continue maybe to improve the techniques, or do you have any future plans with where you want to go with dancing?
I want to perfect performance.
Okay, so you can perfect your performance. Okay, so if you can leave a question for people, like what question do you think that you can just throw out there and ask people, so that if anyone knows the answer or have some experience, they can come share with you? What question could you ask?
Question for the other people.
Yes, the other people that you would like to know.
I love exercise, so I think do yoga or dance can lose weight and stay healthy.
Okay. So your question is?
Question.
So usually at the end, like you would ask a question to the people also in the event, so that they can come maybe give you some advice, right? Like Yuqing, she was talking to the people who graduated from her school. So she wanted to know some of their experience about finding a new job or how they found their job, right? So she would ask and say, oh, so if anyone would be willing to share about their experience of finding a new job, that would be great, right? So please share with me. So at the end, when everyone is finished with the self-introduction, she will maybe have a lot of people coming to her and say, hey, Yuqing, I think you should use this website. I think you should use 104, right? The website 104 to look for a job, because I got a lot of interviews from that website. Or I use LinkedIn, right? Maybe there's a headhunter who is very active in trying to help people find jobs. So different type of ways that will be helpful to you. Erin is learning how to skateboard, right? Like, hey, I want to learn how to do an ollie. So ollie is like a really a trick, like one of the basic tricks of skateboarding. So he's asking people to help him to do that, or to show him how to do it, right? So what would you like to get from people, or what would you like to know?
Would you like to know?
Do you want people to dance with you, or do you want people to suggest you some new music, or just anything, right? So this is just for people to have more interaction with you. It raises the chance of having people to interact with you.
Maybe dance style.
Okay, the dance style. So do you have a very specific dancing style that you enjoy?
Chinese traditional.
Okay, Chinese traditional. So maybe you can say at the end is like, oh, one of my very favorite dancing styles is the traditional Chinese dance. So if you are very experienced with it, or if you also enjoy it, please let me know, so we can maybe practice together or dance together, something like that, right? So this is a chance for you to let people know what you're interested in, and they're like, hey, Iris, like, I want to talk to you about Chinese dance and stuff, right? And you will have a lot more you guys can talk about. Okay, great. So I think this is a very it's just one of the ways of how people can do their introductions. Okay. So this is something that so this is something that I listed, and these are the things that I feel that I love. Okay, so I love to surf, I love outdoor activities, traveling, and for social media. So this part is what I think I'm good at. So social media, I've been doing a lot of Facebook, Instagram, ways to make content. So that's what I like to do. So maybe for me, I may go to some gathering with a lot of social media managers. So that is something I will have to think about. What have I been doing in the past, in the present, and in the future? And then ask them a question. Being a good communicator. Okay, so is anyone a good communicator here? What is a communicator? Aaron, what's a communicator?
Good at speaking.
Okay, they're good at speaking. Okay, so usually a good communicator is someone who maybe needs to talk to different departments, kind of like a product manager. You need to talk to engineers, you need to talk to the technicians, you need to talk to everyone related in this project. You're able to talk to everyone and to understand what everyone needs, what their troubles are, right? You're trying to bring everyone together so that we can actually make the deadline. Okay, so being a communicator is actually really important. So today I was just doing an interview and I was thinking about how I should start my interview. So another way you can do it is actually thinking about what do you think are the type of people the company wants. So the job that I wanted to go and try out was they needed to work remotely. So if you need to work remotely, what are some abilities that you need to have? Everyone now is working remotely, right? Some people. So what do you think, Iris? If you work remotely and work at home, there's no boss, right? There's no boss looking at your computer screen and saying like, hey, Iris, you're not doing your job, right? What do you need to, what is a really important trait that you need? What do you think? Does anyone have any?
Patient.
Okay, patient. Okay. What about you, Ching? What do you think? Discipline. Good. Self-discipline is a good one. Okay, what about Aaron?
Energetic body.
Energetic body? You're working at home? Why do you need an energetic body?
Because if you don't have an energetic body, if I don't have an energetic body, I will usually want to sleep.
Okay, you want to sleep. Okay, what about you, Jean? What do you think?
You need
What do you need? If you have to stay at home?
You need a clear brain.
You need a clear brain. Okay. Okay. I was thinking about you need to be self-motivated, right? Because there's no boss looking at you. They're not telling you what to do. You need to be able to do it, be more self-disciplined, to be self-motivated, right? So if I had to convince someone that I'm self-motivated, do you guys have any examples? So Aaron, do you think you're self-motivated?
Yeah, I'm self-motivated.
Okay, how can you show me that? Give me an example.
I can plan a series of internet classes to improve my programming skills, such as some programming language, maybe Python or R. And then this is in the job domain. If in my sport domain, I also will plan the training schedule for my basketball. I will plan some time to practice my shooting and dribbling on the court.
Okay, really good. So you're very self-disciplined and self-motivated because I can see that from you trying to learn more through online classes, right? That's awesome. Okay, Yuqing, what about you? How can you show people you're self-motivated?
I don't think I'm so.
You don't think you're self-motivated? Okay, what about Iris? Iris, are you self-motivated?
Motivated. I think the moment when I get my salary.
Okay, you're self-motivated. So when you get your salary, you feel motivated. Do you have any examples of maybe through your job, what you do during your job that shows you that you're self-motivated? Like you don't need people to always be like, hey, do that or finish this, do this. Time is running out. Time is running out, right?
For example, maybe I finish my goal when that everybody recognizes.
Okay, recognize
my and follow my plan.
Okay, and follow your plans. Okay, that's great. Okay, so I think I would like to give you guys maybe 2 minutes to think about the qualities that matter. So you can think about this like it could be for your job, it could be for any situation. It could be for you finding a new job, Yuqing will be helpful. For Iris, I think if you would like to think about what are the qualities that a human resource manager should have, okay? And for Aaron, do you want to do this as a job interview or do you want to think of it as a networking one?
Sorry, to repeat again.
So for you, you can also think about the qualities that matter. So think about this maybe for your job, or you can think about it as, I think it's good for data analysis. Like what are the 3 qualities that they need? Okay. So think about it. Think about it. I'll give you guys 1 minute and I'll come back to the classroom. I just need to save this first. Okay. So let me save it. I think we need to come